Looky, time for news. Now, I'm going to have to kind of fit it on you a little bit. Turn around. I'm going to have to draw this bow up a little. Hold it. Wait a second. Hi, I'm Judith McGinnis and welcome to my kitchen. I've got company today. Emma Watson, my able assistant, and I'm going to show Emma how to make spaghetti the easy way. All right, let's start with, I think a little olive oil first in the pan. We're going to use turkey Italian sausage today. It doesn't have the kind of fat that regular sausage has in it. It tends to stick to the pan without a little bit of oil, so we're going to start with a little bit of olive oil and let that heat up. And then we're going to throw these Mac Daddies in and let her rip. All right, the oil's ready to put the sausage in. You can tell when it begins to shimmer. You'll just have a very slight movement in it. You don't want to wait until it smokes. That's too hot. But we're going to take the turkey sausage and just drop it in, bit at a time, not all at once. Oh, what a sizzle of satisfaction. This is about a pound. This is turkey Italian sausage comes in two kinds, sweet and hot. Now when it says sweet, that doesn't mean it's dessert sweet. It means it's very mildly seasoned. And when they say hot, that is not Texas jalapeno hot. It's got a little bit more seasoning in it, but not an awful lot. Okay, and then we're going to give it a second to get a real nice brown on the bottom. Now what you're going to do is start breaking this up in chunks and move it around the skillet. Be careful, the stuff in there is hot and it does kind of spritz a little bit, but you should be okay.
I'm starting to start. You want me to like whip it around?
Yes. You need to kind of toss it around so the brown part will come up and the unsweet part goes. You can do this with ground beef or just plain ground turkey. Wow. But I really think this adds to it.
It's like, it's not just the normal thing that people do.
Oh, now this is very, very complicated. We throw a can of spaghetti sauce in it. Yep. Now, because I hate to waste anything, I'll put a little bit of water in here and swirl it around so you get the rest of the sauce. And now stir that around. And
it's a little bit difficult since the sauce is so...
Well, yeah, you don't want to get too crazy with it. It's red, it goes places. Yeah. Once you get that stirred in, what we're going to do is let it kind of, it's almost to a boil right now, but let it come to a boil and then we're going to cut the temperature down and let it simmer. Now, depending on your time, you can let it simmer for 15 minutes and it'll work. If you've got a little bit more time, you can put it on a very low burner and let it simmer up to an hour.
Wow.
Now, what you're doing is not just heating the sauce, you're letting it take up the flavor from the turkey sausage. There's another good thing about using turkey sausage. Unlike real sausage, it doesn't have a lot of fat in it. If you use real sausage, real ground beef, you need to drain the fat off of it before you put the sauce in. This is much quicker. I like quick. It works for me. All right, I think what we're going to do now is just cut the temperature down on this a little bit, if you'll excuse me, miss.
All right.
All right. And let that simmer.
Okay.
All right. I'm telling you, that stuff is alive. Yes, we'll put this on the rest and let her sit. All right, Emma.
Yep.
Now I'm going to show you how to boil water.
Oh boy.
This is an important part of the equation. Okay, grab that there largish pan. Now, what we begin with is cold water. Why don't you go ahead and put that up there. Don't think you can make it boil quicker by using hot water. That's water that has come out of a hot water heater. Has been still in a metal container. We just assume that we get a better flavor and all that other kind of good stuff.
And you don't.
In an emergency, yes, you could use hot water. But There's a science to boiling water. You'll learn more about this in high school. My grandmother used to tell me that a watched pot never boils. In other words, if you stand over it, fret over it, worry about when it's going to boil, it seems like forever. But the quickest way actually to get water to come to a boil is put a lid on it. What that does is capture all the heat inside the pot instead of letting it all rise. So we're going to let that get going and get back to it in just a minute. I think the water's ready.
Oh.
Yes, always be careful when you take the lid off the pot of boiling water because there's steam underneath there since we had a lid on it.
Yep.
Now, this is when we put salt in it. You put your salt in after the water has begun to boil. There's a good reason for it. Now, you know, this is a pan that has a nonstick coating in it. It's fairly safe, but other pans don't. And if you put the salt in first with water, it can start to corrode the metal. So this is always the best and safest thing. Get in the habit. Good habits. All right, pasta into rolling, boiling water. Like pixie sticks. We're going to easily watch your hand. Watch where it is. Be aware. I'm going to put the pasta in. Put a little bit more in. You know, I'm feeling generous. And there we go. Now we use tongs. What you want to do is kind of press that into that water. You can, yeah, that's exactly, that'd be just fine.
There we go.
And I'll stir it a little bit because if you leave it like that, they'll stick together.
Yeah.
This is a very starchy substance. Have you ever made macaroni and cheese?
I have once.
Okay. Well, this is similar.
Somewhat similar.
This is far more tomato, but that's okay. And it is now come back to a nice rolling boil, and we're going to let that cook. Well, it depends on, you know, let's consult the package. Because some people like their pasta more firm, al dente, which is Italian for firm to the tooth. And just a standard firm pasta is 10 minutes. If you want it very tender, it's 11. What do you think?
Let's do tender.
I think it's planned. All right, so we're going to set the timer for 11 minutes. Kitchen timers are your best friend. Absolutely. And I have one that I can stick in my pocket. So if I walk away and go do something else, I don't forget.
Yeah.
All right, whirl that a little bit because it looks like it's lying a little bit flat on the bottom. So, yeah. There we go. All right, now we're going to check and see if it's done enough. It's always, whoa, don't you dare get away from me. No, we do not sling spaghetti on the wall to tell if it is done. That is a guy thing and we do not do it. What I'll do is lay a little bit of it out on the counter, and what I do is called a pinch. You pinch it to see how tender it is. This, once again, is something that you have to be very careful about, and to be quite honest, I'm going to do it today.
All right.
Give yourself enough distance. There it goes. Jackpot. All right, now, the only question that remains is, are you a sauce-on girl mixed in with the pasta, or do you prefer it with the pasta in a plate and the sauce on the top?
Pasta in a plate and sauce on the top.
Oh, I knew you were very sophisticated. All right, then let's do that. All right then, let's take our tongs and get a little bit of pasta on the plate. That looks better enough. Oh, got it. In the plate, and we'll put sauce on top.
Perfection.
Exactly. There's only one other thing that could make it any better.
Yes.
Well, of course, you can't do it without the stinky cheese. And this is hand-grated Parmesan, I'll let you know.
Wow.
I do my own because that stuff in the Kraft, I use the Kraft bottle, but I grate my own because it really is better.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it tastes a lot better when you do it yourself.
Of course it does. All right, now, I can give you a fork, but I'll have to admit, there's going to be some major blowing on it stuff to keep from burning your tongue. Just a second. Now, you do know how to swirl spaghetti, don't you?
Yes.
Excellent. Once again, a gifted child. I'm so glad you were able to come today.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll come up with something else, don't you think?
Of course, and I'd love to be back here.
Oh, good. Excellent. I'm looking forward to it. And that's our day in my kitchen. Thank you very much. Enjoy some easy cooking.